The following is a live presentation of CBC Sports.
Hockey in the Stanley Cup are Canada's gift to the sports world. Tonight, 5 of the 7 Canadian teams setting their sights on the playoffs will be seen by you. At the Molson Centre, the Edmonton Oilers begin a crucial weekend featuring stops in Montreal and Ottawa as they meet the surging Canadians, winners of 4 in a row. In Toronto, it's been tough times recently for the Flyers and new-look Leafs. 2 meaningful points to 2 mean leaders. And in Vancouver this evening, Rocky Mountain rivals, the Flames and the Canucks, jockey for the final home ice position in the West. Tickets and victories at a premium were coast to coast at all cost this evening. Two big games early this evening at the Molson Centre. The Edmonton Oilers start a critical weekend. Tonight at Montreal, tomorrow at Ottawa. We'll show the Oilers and the Habs to many viewers across the nation. And a big game at Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. The Leafs host the Philadelphia Flyers. You can't get a ticket to the Gardens tonight. First time Philly's been in here in 2 years. For Toronto, injury woes are a huge concern. Their captain, Doug, plays right now in the Eastern Conference. Well, I don't know if he's trying to upstage me here. Here comes Donald S. Cherry, accompanied by a couple of constables with the RCMP. What a grand entrance this is. Robin and Tom, thanks a lot from Lac du Bonnet and Selkirk. We'll explain why they're here on site in a bit.
Two great traditions, the Mounties and Coach's Corner.
What do you think about this Toronto-Philly game tonight, Don?
Well, I'll tell you, they're both desperate clubs. I'll tell you right now, both of them have to win. Terry Murray said, I said, keep it up. Keep it up. He said, I'd like to get it going. Both teams have got to get something rolling here for the playoffs because, hey, time's wasting. If you don't get on a roll going in, you're in tough shape.
Toronto's running out of time, and they're running into teams that are on a marquee season to date, winning the Hart Trophy. Philly rolled into the postseason, got through round 1, then met the New York Rangers, who had upset Quebec, and they blew out New York in 4 straight with their D scoring a lot of those big goals. And then Lindros against New Jersey was tremendous, but he had to put up with Claude Lemieux. They bowed out to the eventual Stanley Cup champs, but they're better now, or so Terry Murray feels.
Well, from what we did with adding Dale Hawerchuk in particular, we're looking to give ourselves better balance in the offensive part of the game. We really relied a lot on the Lindros line in the early part of the season, struggled from there down to get some offense to complement him. So I think with Falloon, with Hawerchuk now, we're looking to give him some better support.
What do you do with Hawerchuk's the center and Brindamore's the center, so how do you play these guys?
I got to handle that very carefully. Rod Brindamore likes to play center. I've had him on the left side. He will do it, but reluctantly. Tonight I'll have Hawerchuk on the right side with Lindros and Leclerc, with Renberg being out for a little longer.
Night in Canada on CBC.
The West. We're set for the action here. Lots of excitement in the building as we go to Bob Cole and Harry Neal. Gentlemen.
Thank you, Ron, and good evening, everybody. Philadelphia to our left, of course, and the Leafs in the white jerseys to our right. Ron Hextall, well, this is the first time this season that Hextall has been given the starting assignment in back-to-back games. So they're going with their number 1, and so are the Leafs. In the final part of this schedule, you better get used to seeing Potvin. The Leafs are starting Gilmore with Clark and Presley, Schneider and Ella. That's Schneider with the puck. Desjardins, Haller, the defenseman for Philadelphia. Lindros, Hawerchuk, and Leclerc. Shot in by Desjardins. Up on the boards, Leclerc. And he's the hot winger for Philadelphia. He's in back to the net now. Rolling it to Hawerchuk, who's pinned on the boards. And the Leafs will come out quickly. The pass tipped to center. Schneider will have to come back for it again. And he saw Presley open. Giving it to Clark. Coming for the net. But the play goes offside back at the Philadelphia blue line.
Well, let's have a look at the Leaf lineup tonight. Matt Sundin, as Ron McLean told you this in the opening, is not playing. Here are the 6 defensemen. All of them have been around quite a while and should give the Leafs a good performance from here on in and in the playoffs. Here are the forwards as Nick Beverly keeps juggling his lines to try to get 3 he can really trust, and maybe some specialists or some role players on the 4th line. Doug Gilmour is playing. There was some doubt. He is injured. He'll be a marked man among the Flyer hitters.
Kolasar is number 37 for Toronto, stopping the Flyers near center ice. Kjell Samuelsson shot it back down the ice for Philadelphia. Bruce is forechecking. Leafs just dump it out to center ice. Samuelsson again. Philadelphia organizing. Bruce shoots it in behind the Leaf net. Potvin fired it on the boards. It stays in there. Yuskevich for Toronto. Kolasar tipped it across center. Kyprios couldn't pick it up. And Yuskevich is turning. Nearly ran into McCown. Goes in back to the net. Fired it high on the glass. And Samuelsson will dump it in. And the Flyers will make changes. Minute and a half into the first period. And not a shot on goal yet. Flyers can't keep it in. Dykhouse at his own blue line with the pass and gets it again. Now rolled it ahead. A neat play will bring Brind'Amour in, but he faked the shot at the blue line. And Podine went in offside.
Well, the Philadelphia Flyers are in a battle themselves for a good playoff position. Here are the 6 defensemen. Remember how well they played last year in the playoffs. They've had trouble, the 6 of them, duplicating that performance this season. 2 big guys missing in Renberg and Joel Otto. That lineup of forwards would look a lot better with 2 of those. John Druce picked up last week from LA. Remember, he played for Terry Murray in Washington.
Svoboda put one through the crease, and the Leafs shoot it across center ice. That'll be offside. Gartner was speeding away, but touching the puck across center ice, he'll bring it all the way back.
Well, Gartner was in the clear, but he couldn't get the puck before the red line because the Leaf defenseman had to wait till a Flyer forechecker got out of the way. Terry Murray, who's done a nice job with the Philadelphia Flyers, 63, 38, and 17 as the coach of the Flyers. He's telling me before the game the thing he wishes the most is he'd get a healthy lineup.
There should be a tired lineup tonight. They didn't get to the hotel here in Toronto till about 4:30 this morning. Naturally, took the morning off. No skating. Here they are tonight. After a loss last night, the Leafs come in. Muller shot one at the net. Murphy was in deep. And the Flyers get it up to Lindros, but he's across center, and he, too, is taking the offside pass.
Well, Eric Lindros, remember, he's only 22 years old. He's just starting his brilliant career, but since Leclerc was obtained in the trade with Montreal, look what these 2 big guys have done for the Legion of Doom. They can't get them together this year.
Renberg, inflammation of the pelvic bone, and he'll be a while.
And has been a while.
Ty Domi for Toronto. Dumps it in deep. Hextall gets to touch the puck. Mind you, not a shot on goal yet. And we're nearing the 3-minute mark. Flyers come in quickly. Podine can't get too far with it. Warner lost it near center ice. Tapping it back in is Gagne. And the Flyers break that one up. Pass ahead on the wing. This is Falloon trying to find room to cut in, but he can't find it. Flyers on it inside the line, though. Brind'Amour circles back. Gave it away. And Toronto backed out. Gagne, 4 of them over the line. Gagne rolled it in, and that's wide of the net. Hextall covered up anyway, and Antosky just knocked it off the boards and down the ice. They do give the Leafs a shot on goal on that last play near Hextall. Looked to be wide. However, it goes down officially as the only shot we have so far, and we played 3:22.
2 of the 49 points that Schneider has amassed this year have come in a blue and white uniform. He makes a nice play here defensively on Sean Podine.
Toronto from their own zone trying to get something going, bringing it out, but no dice. Stopped by Lindros. It's tapped in on the net. Potvin will cover up with John LeClair in, hoping maybe for a rebound. It didn't come.
Well, John LeClair and Eric Lindros have managed to stay healthy this year, but their line mate Renberg hasn't. LeClair, a 4-game point streak, 6 goals, 2 assists for 8 points. He leads his team in power play goals and game-winning goals.
McCown, bumped by Lindros. Gilmore got across his own line. Looked like he might turn back with it. Decided to dump it in across the line. Philadelphia back. Lindros bumped by Gilmore. Flyers shoot it in. Hawerchuk tapped at it. Comes to the line. Samuelsson gets his shot. Montman picked out the right skate. Knocked that away. Toronto coming out. 5 players get up to center where Clark was bumped by Samuelsson. Therrien put it back of his own net. LeClair. Gilmore chased him. Samuelsson, the big defenseman, comes up on an angle with a shot. Deflected and over the glass into the crowd, and the net off in behind Felix Potvin anyway.
Well, that was a rib test right there as Gilmore on the back check slid off the Philadelphia Flyer player. LeClair, watch this. Gilmore, we all know he's got great defensive skills. And here's a test to see how his ribs are. He seems to have passed it. And Gilmore is trying to make crystal clear to everybody on both teams he's not hurt. Because when you're hurt, the last thing you want to be doing with sore ribs is trying to knock Eric Lindros down.
4 minutes, 25 seconds gone on the first. No score. Dykhouse, no shot. Covered immediately. Flyers on it though. Good forechecking to keep it in deep. In back of the net it goes. Quinn was in there trying to find it. Dykhouse took a whack at it. Cleared down the ice a little bit too far for Muller. Swoboda bumped by Muller. Laid it on the boards. DeMaio knocked it loose behind his own net and gives chase. Made a good move to get out of the zone. Up to center into the Leaf line. Going in, dropping it beautifully. The pass back. And the shot by Quinn is deflected away. Good rush by Philadelphia and their 4th line. They pass it out by everybody down the ice. Hextall will play it. He whacks a pass away quickly to Swoboda. That's an offside pass. Up to Klatt, who was across center.
Well, the Toronto Maple Leafs have got Brandon Convery up again for his 2nd game of this stint. He scored a goal here against Detroit, and here he makes a pretty good defensive play. First of all, he has to read the rush on the crossover, and you can see he does, and then he comes right out to pick up the Philadelphia player, Dan Quinn. And that is a tough play for any back-checking forward. When the 2 forwards in front of you cross over, you have to take the deep man. He thought of it, and then he did it.
No score, first period here in Toronto. Gagne dangerously close to Potvin, but he managed to get the puck near the line. However, it's fired back in right to the Toronto goalie. Schneider tipped it out to Gagne. His quick pass. And Domi dumps it in deep. It comes back in front of the net. Warner nearly had a stick on it. He is now covered. Gagne missed it. Knocked down, and Haller shot it to the line where Elliott stopped it. Domi was right there hoping to get a shot. Philadelphia back out. 2 of them to center, led by Desjardins. He shoots it in, and Philadelphia will make the quick change. Dave Ellett, Schneider bumped on the underside when he made the play. Elliott's pass to Domi, look out. Nearly bumped, just got out of the way. Gagne took a shot off his stick. Hextall out. Makes the save on it, scooped it up, and Domi kept going. We have our first update tonight. So here's Ron.
Bob, thank you. We're going to the Molson Center.
Domi, the energetic forechecking winger for the Leafs, in a race for the puck against Hextall. Hextall's the most active of all NHL goaltenders outside the crease, and a better puck handler than half the defensemen in the league. And both Hextall and Domi enjoy the odd collision.
Kolesar tapped it at the net on the face-off. Kypreos had a stick on it for an instant. Couldn't make a play. And the Flyers get it out and down the ice. Bodine giving chase. Todd Gill for Toronto. Short pass ahead. Gets out. Kolesar behind the play was upended, but he's back on his feet, as you see. And flipped it back to Gill. Brind'Amour watching him. And Gill comes out with it. Pass up through the middle. The Leafs shoot it across center. Kypreos covered. Back in for Brind'Amour. To get to the net. On with the brakes, and the centering pass will be cleared out. And Kolesar fired a high shot in over the net. Kypreos bunt. Craig is in. He's covered by Therrien. Gilmore on the ice now. Checked his man. But it'll be Falloon coming to center. Philadelphia changing. He's all alone. He knew it. And just rolled it in there. Still no score. 7.5 minutes gone in period 1. Bakehouse turning the play back to center ice. McCown's pass, a good one. Gilmore looking for the net. Centered it. And everybody was covered. And here come the three Flyers up the center. Hawerchuk rolled it in there. And that play is broken up. Lindros on it. Hard shot, missed the far side. Clark gets it out. Clark stays with it. Comes in with Wesley. And he tried to pass it to him. Clark again dumped it. Back of the net to the other side. Gilmore, Piaskevich. Leclerc covered him. And Swoboda got it up. Lindros is on it quickly. And he's moving in off the boards. Lindros centering pass right in. Can't find the far side. Lindros bumped by Clark. Philadelphia get it back. Long shot. Missed the net. On the other side. Pressure by Philadelphia. Haller. A high one to the glass. And Clark again. Lifting it away. Leafs trying to make changes. Tempo picks up as we near the 9-minute mark.
He's added all kinds of people to improve his team after a pretty successful playoff run last year. The players he's added since the playoffs ended last year. And here he is sitting with Alan Eagleson Jr. on his left and Alan Eagleson Sr. on his right.
Philadelphia trying to win the face-off in the Toronto zone. Come up empty on that one, and the Leafs are away. Convery dumped a high one in for Gardner, hoping he'd pick it up, and he did. Muller went in hitting. Gardner shot it behind the Philadelphia net. Convery in forechecking on Desjardins, and took him out of the play, but the Flyers are on the loose puck. Bruce nearly got the lead pass behind Todd Gill. Muller put it through the middle. And Gardner brings it across center. Leaving it for Muller. Shot it in wide of the net. Everybody covered in front of the Philadelphia goal. Long pass ahead. The Leafs have it again. Murphy just shot it back. Here's Muller. And he turns back to center. Shot along one end. Philadelphia back checking. Gagne can't find it. Three Flyers skate to center. Decide to shoot it in and give chase. Quinn will knock it down. Dave Ellett stuck in. Puck loose to the line. Samuelson's shot comes off the leg. Gagne there for Toronto. He's bumped. Samuelson again. Put the shot right onto the Leaf player. And Warner cleared it to center ice. Heavy traffic in the center ice area. 2 or 3 bumps, and the puck bumped over the glass into the crowd with 9:51 left in the period.
Well, Cliff Fletcher has been a busy man too since the '95 playoffs. Here are the new Leafs since the Leafs were eliminated by Chicago last spring. Cliff Fletcher's in Sweden, scouting off some prospects there they're thinking of signing. And I can't remember a year when more hockey players have shifted teams, and not just players on the periphery of their lineup, major players. No one's safe anymore. Gretzky started all this too.
Still no score in this first period. Philadelphia Flyers and the Toronto Maple Leafs after this one on a 3-game road trip. Calgary, Vancouver, and next Saturday night, Edmonton. So this is a big one for Toronto tonight. Puck loose at center. Brind'Amour carries up over the line. Podine going after it behind the net. Tried to center it. Falloon was in with him, and Schneider was stopped by Falloon. To Allen. And Elliot's pass will just go harmlessly to center ice. Brind'Amour to Podine again. A little bit too far for it. Puck was centered though, and Warner takes it for Toronto. Gets rid of it down the ice. Hextall was going to play it. He saw the icing sign, so he moved back, and they'll bring it back inside the Leaf line.
Well, Nick Beverly, 3-3. The Leafs have 2 more games to play than Toronto after tonight.
Toronto Maple Leafs move it up to Gilmour, and he gets up to the line to pass. And Hextall makes his first difficult save, covering on the short side. Swoboda shoots one in. Leclerc's on it quickly. Took a bump. Chucks back, and he scores! They clean off something right in front of Potvin. The Philadelphia Flyers draw first blood and lead 1-0.
Well, this all started when no Leaf, and 2 of them tried hard to take Leclerc out in the corner. Here's the first shot, and Leclerc standing, and here's the second shot, and Leclerc standing, and then Yushkevich is badly deked on the play, and they slide it through Potvin.
You know, it went clean by Potvin. I don't think it touched anything.
Philadelphia goal scored by number 18, Dale Howard.
So when you cannot take out the forwards in your own zone when you get a good run at them, this is what happens. Leclerc was hit twice and never went down.
11:16 the time of the first goal of this game. Through the skates of Felix Potvin. 1-0 Philadelphia. Hawerchuk gets the goal from Leclerc and Corcoran. And we get the first penalty of the game. It's against the Philadelphia Flyers. Kevin Haller.
The job was to build a tough truck. So we put the new F-150 through hard labor and came up with features that work. The only super cab with a standard third door. The only 60/40 split rear bench. More footroom, more headroom, and the only standard dual airbags in its class. We figure if it can handle the punishment from 9 to 5, it should work just fine on weekends. The all-new 1997 Ford F-150. Strength after strength after strength.
Let's go, Campers! Wakey, wakey!
He's a born leader.
I'm just so damn proud.
A natural hero.
Make the bad man stop.
A man's man.
Ah, Doberman. The son I never wanted.
From Universal Pictures and Imagine Entertainment, Steve Martin.
Bilko!
Sergeant Bilko.
No wonder they call me a master sergeant.
Starts Friday, March 29th at theaters everywhere.
While still in a St. Louis blue uniform on January the 31st, Dale Hawerchuk scored his 500th career goal. And he has lived off the Toronto Maple Leafs. He gets the first goal for the Flyers, his 15th of the year, his 6th point as a Flyer. And in 44 games against the Leafs, 72 points for Dale Hawerchuk.
When you look at that scoring play again, Yushkevich had a stick close to the puck. Maybe it hit that. I thought it changed direction a little bit in front of Potvin.
Well, Potvin certainly looked fooled on it, and there was no doubt about the fact that Yushkevich was deked out of his underwear just before the puck went in, if you noticed.
Gardner trying to move it up. Still after it in there, but Desjardins shot it as far as the line. The Leafs have a chance in front, but very quickly it's shot away and down the ice. Potvin might have to play it, and does. Haller in the penalty box. Toronto, power play in the first of the game. Trailing 1-0, they shoot it in. Hextall fired a high one on the glass, took that funny hop and came back inside the line. Muller after it. Couldn't make the play. It got to the side of the net. Came close. Whacked up over the glass again.
Well, there have been all kinds of comments throughout the National League that the Philadelphia Flyers, if they had better goaltending, would be a better chance to do something in the playoffs. They are the fourth best team in the league in goals against. And that is Ron Hextall is the main man, as he has won 24 games. And Hextall is a talented player with his stick. He stops the puck there nicely, and then he's got one of the better shots in the league. So when you toss the puck into the Philadelphia zone, keep it away from Hextall. He can make some good plays with it.
1 minute gone on the penalty to Philadelphia's Kevin Haller. Gilmore moving it up quickly. Gets as far as the line. Murphy lost it. Schneider hustling back. Out comes Potvin. Corcoran has a shot at the net, but Potvin is given time to get back in. And Corcoran just kills some time going to Samuelson. Gilmore tapping down a high one at center. Schneider trying to step it up to Clark. And he shot it in, and there's Hextall again. Putting it behind his own net. Schneider trapped it at the blue line, kept it in. 20 seconds left in the power play for Toronto. Murphy in deep. Clark, side of the net, can't shoot it. And it's fired away by Corkum. 8 seconds left in Haller's penalty. Schneider looking at the clock, knows he has to move quickly. And he can't make the play. The penalty has been killed off. Haller on the ice. Going for a change as the Leafs get to center. Desjardins for Philadelphia. Shooting it in. Hit the back of the net. Leclerc checking Yuskevich. Clark again. Got it up the center quickly to Domi, and he left it. Yuskevich off to the boards. Came off his skate in front of Hextall. Just missed the corner. 1-0 Philadelphia. Howard checked the goal, and Lindros on the move. Coming up over the line. The pass. Leclerc falling. It's still inside the line. Desjardins bump. Domi can't get it out. The Leafs shoot at the center ice. Backing up is McCown. 5:25 left in the opening period. Domi bumping his man. Gagne went off stride and fell. Todd Gill from center. Fired a high one in, and Hextall knocked that out of the air. Philadelphia coming out. DeMaio's pass gets up to center. And it's flipped in there in front of the net. And the Leafs pick it up and get it out again. Under 5 minutes left in the first period. That's an icing call against Toronto. Philadelphia is leading 1-0. Proving, getting their chances up there for a playoff spot. A little bit of work to be done yet, though. Montreal having a great 10 days since the closing of the old Forum and the opening of the new Molson Center. 1-0 Philadelphia leading Toronto with 4:35 remaining in the first period. Shots are only 5-2 in favor of Philadelphia. Leafs go in there. They're onside. Just Swoboda skating well. DeMaio takes his pass and rolled it ahead. Quinn shot one in wide of the net. On it is Antoski to Quinn. Centered and right in for DeMaio. And Potvin stoned him. That's a big save by Potvin with a score 1-0 Philadelphia and the opening period winding down. DeMaio all alone. And Potvin beat him. Samuelson again shooting it in. In quickly is Platt. Time enough to get hit. Stop. Shot at the side of the net. Druce failing to get one away properly. And it's shut down the ice again. Loose at center. Yuskevich feeding it in deep. Hextall took a look around and played it into the corner. Back out for Bob Corkum. In across center and to the line before shooting it. Potvin onto it long enough. That'll bring about a face-off inside the Leaf blue line, and we'll be back for that. Philadelphia scoring play. Howard-Chuck got the goal all right. Leclerc and Swoboda got the 2 assists. 1-0. Leclerc's shot doesn't get through the crowd. Leclerc tries it again. Deflected and wide of the net. Desjardins shot it in deep. Lindros back there with Leclerc. Lindros given some room. Leclerc with him to Lindros. And Howard-Chuck. Howard-Chuck shoots it. That's blocked. Another shot picked up by Potvin. And he falls on it this time with 2:54 left in the period.
Well, the Leafs simply cannot handle this line physically, especially Lindros and Leclerc. Howard-Chuck playing the wing, although he's played most of his career at center. And Potvin has been by far the best Leaf and has kept them in the game. The Leafs have mounted no offense whatsoever. And Potvin has taken 2 or 3 good opportunities away from the Flyers.
And the Leafs are going to get a penalty here. Dave Ellett is making his way to the penalty box. Something happened after that save by Potvin, and Ellett gets the penalty. Booking. So Philadelphia with a 1-0 lead now get their first power play opportunity of the night.
To make a little change here, they put Dan Quinn
out. Leafs don't get it out. Desjardins ahead for the big guy. 88 waits. Back of the net goes the pass. Howard-Chuck in front. Score! Quinn made the play at the side of the net. And it's 2-0 Philadelphia.
Well, Leclerc went to the front of the net right off the face-off and planted his 2 feet, and nobody could move him. Not that anyone tried very hard, and I don't know who put this in, but it may well have been Leclerc. It just might have hit his stick and gone in. It could have hit McCowan, and it could have hit Potvin. Let's have a look and see if this angle tells us. Leclerc dares you to get him out of there. And who does it hit? Here it is. It hit Potvin's stick and deflected back through his legs, and Dan Quinn should get credit for the goal.
It's a power play goal for Philadelphia. They're up 2-0 now with 2:30 left in the opening period. Muller stopped near center. Flyers shoot it in. Quinn gets credit for the goal, so it went in off Potvin. Trying a shot from 25 feet, missed the goal. And another penalty coming up. This one called as McCown and Brind'Amour collided just outside the Leaf line. And maybe McCown is the player who'll go. We'll see now. The referee is there in the middle of everything. And the door to the...
Right there, you can see he gets the stick right up to protect himself. And so the Leafs are got themselves in an awful hole. They're down 2-0. There it is right there. The high stick for McCowan. Then another power play for Philadelphia and Toronto.
Lindros and Desjardins drawing the assists, and that was a power play goal. Under 2 minutes left in the first period. 2-0 Philadelphia. Count in the penalty box. And the Flyers look to go up 3-0. They have a chance right here. Lindros missed the pass. Desjardins stopped it to Lindros. Checked by Schneider. And Gilmour, in trying to clear it out, hooked it too high over the Leaf bench and into the crowd.
In Vancouver trying to win a game or two to get into the playoffs. They're not there yet.
Philadelphia on a power play. Shot it back to the net. Off to Lindros again. Sharp angle for him there. Schneider had him covered anyway. Lindros his second time. Schneider got a piece of that pass. Lindros again. Ahead to Quinn. Back to Desjardins. Shoots. Hard shot, but he missed. Quinn is upended. Look to the referee. The play goes right on. We're in the final minute of the first period now. 2-0 Philadelphia. And it's moved up to Lindros. Didn't get that pass away. Howard-Chuck slipped one in. Leclerc got in front of the net but couldn't handle the pass, and Murphy will shoot it down the ice. Hextall playing it quickly ahead to Howard-Chuck. Hawerchuk got it up there, neat play. Quinn, stopped by Potvin. Kalun now takes over to Lindros. Potvin intercepted that pass. 25 seconds left in the period. Philadelphia on the power play. Hawerchuk coming in. And Potvin got that one away. Centered again and out over the line. That will relieve the pressure on this power play. With only 10 seconds left in the period, Lindros has time. Shoots. Potvin the save. And he hangs on to it. With just 5 seconds left in the period, and that time for Ron MacLean in this update. Wow, thank you, Ron. Boston losing today to the Rangers. We'll welcome that little bit of news. They have been moving. 5 seconds, didn't do it cleanly. And the period is over. The shots 13-2 in favor of Philadelphia. Coming up is Don Cherry in the coach's corner. The score after one period. Hawerchuk and Quinn scoring 2-0 Philadelphia.
Coach's Corner with Don Cherry. Brought to you by Canadian Airlines. Going to the ends of the earth to make a difference. And then going further.
Wait a minute, Jeff Friesen having a tough year this year out in the Sharks.
He's second, by the way.
Wait a minute, he is having a tough year, not like he had his first year. He got a beautiful hat trick. Meadow Lake, Saskatchewan, and I thought Wiley was a good guy putting him on there with Calhoun. Putting him on with the best. Calhoun, I call him. Putting him on with old Nolan. He got a hat trick. I like that Calhoun. He's not bad. Wears the CCM helmet, no visor, looks all right.
And I love that Owen Nolan. What are you going to try to do to him here? I understand.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm not, from Ireland and the whole deal. I'm not knocking him and everything like that. I just didn't like the way things went with an 18-year-old rookie. Why I'm going to say this is when we were the tough guys, and we never hurt the foreigners or the rookies, and they still don't. Ty Domi would have laughed at this guy. He's only an 18-year-old kid, and I didn't like it the way. You know how I love Nolan, but go ahead, show it. It's an offside thing here. Watch what happens. Keep quiet. Watch this. Go ahead. Now, it's offside. He really runs them here.
And he doesn't really run.
Watch the linesman. Now, watch the line. One linesman in there, and right away, I have one linesman in there. He breaks his nose right there. One linesman. When are these linesmen going to learn you cannot do stuff like that? The linesmen, if their two can't get in, they're so paranoid from the brass up above. The poor kid's got a broken nose right now. We usually
See, Owen lets up there.
He lets up because he was tied up. I'm not knocking him. You know how much I like him. But when those linesmen get in there, it's got to be two. But they're so paranoid about the orders from above to stop fights, they got that kid a broken nose.
If he catches Kyle early enough, though, and pushes him back, no trouble.
Oh, yeah, no trouble. Oh, the kid's got anticipation.
I know, but he thought he could catch him. Kyle's too big and tough.
Well, that is wonderful. You officials, if he could have, but the kid's got a broken nose. I had the same thing happen to me in Rochester, 17 stitches. Dumb linesman doing that. Caused the kid the broken nose. And I was a little surprised at Owen breaking his nose. That's all I got to say. Tough guys. I remember when I was 32 years old, a guy hit me from behind. I come up underneath and I hit him, knocked all his teeth out. I looked down. It was a 19-year-old kid, Mike McMahon. I never forgot that. I felt ashamed doing it to a kid. That's all I'm saying. There's a little honor here, that's all.
Oh, that's nice. Happened a little quick, though, and I love Owen. See the goal he got last night?
Yeah, I got a winner last night. I'm just saying you can't pick your spots here. Go ahead. I'm here to talk about Kirk Muller all the time. A lot of people ask me all the time, how do they get Convery? Kip Brenna's coming too, another Kingston guy. How do they get Linsman? How do they get Dory, Jim Dory? Remember him? Gilmore, Muller from Kingston, because I'm going to show you what.
Cooks.
The Cooks, Bill and Bun Cook, well, that's going back a little bit. Anyhow, they were the same. Wayne Cashman, all from this little city. All from this little city. You know why? Because they're sitting home and everybody's watching Kirk Muller. Watch him doing this. Watch this here play after he hit Fedorov. Go ahead, Mark. Run this here after he hit Fedorov.
This is Wednesday night in Toronto.
Now, Primo comes in. Primo is 6'5", 230. The other Muller is 5'11", 170. It doesn't matter. This is the second time. Barnaby did the same thing. He fought with him. He's 170 pounds. Doesn't matter at all. All the kids home. I come upstairs. I was watching it in the cellar, and Rhodes saw it. I come up. I says, "How do you like that?" That's Fedorov there. He's doing his little act. And she says, "How do you like that, Rhodes?" He says, "Is he nuts?" No, he's not nuts. And we've got another little thing. He goes in and he gets 15 stitches down the side of his face. He comes out. There's Fedorov doing his little act again. He comes out.
Bruised knee.
Bruised knee. He was back the next game. Look at this here. He goes in and gets 15 stitches, misses 5 minutes. Now watch a little clip here. Now watch this guy runs the goalie a little. Who comes after him from way out? Not those big dum-dums standing around. Kirk says, "Don't you dare run my goaltender." I said, "Oh, Kirk, geez, take it easy. You get another 15, cuts to Russian." Comes in there and don't run our goaltender. That's why everybody. Now watch this little banging right after that. Look at him and Ty Domi. Look at this. They hem them in there. Touch the puck. Bang. That's the way to play hockey. Leafs will get going. Don't you worry about it. Watch this. Stem him in. That's all from standing up to a guy 6'5". And folks, I love that guy, and that's the way to do it, and that's why we have great hockey players come from King.
And Haller battle each other as the puck goes down the ice. Gilmore's made it pretty clear that, hurt or not, he's not going to change the way he plays. He's been the most aggressive Leaf. 16 of them are tied for second, a distant second, I might say.
Swoboda's shot. That is blocked by Domi. Warner knocked it in back to the net, to the corner. Philadelphia can't keep it in. Domi pass through center, and McCown's weak shot is stopped. Here's Gagne, had a stick checked in time. Yuskevich's shot is stopped. Loose puck in front, gathered up by Philadelphia, and they move it down the ice quickly. The shot off the pad of Potvin just missed the far post. Gagne and Warner come back in. Warner centered it, that deflected, and missed the short side. 2-0 Philadelphia. They're up there again with Corkum shooting one in. Potvin grabbed that. Yuskevich up to Muller, hit immediately by Therrien. Convery moving it up. He's hauled down. Muller kept going, and he gets the puck around the net. Muller circles to the far side, then goes back of the net again to Convery. Samuelson can't move it out. Gill lost it at the blue line. Philadelphia up on it with Falloon coming in. Bodine takes the pass. The shot blocked by Potvin. Murphy a chance to move it out. Gets a high one away, and Therrien stopped it with his hand and cleared it to Brind'Amour. Comes back to the defenseman. Bodine and Brind'Amour got it up to the line. That'll be offside unless the Leafs can bring it out. They will. Pass gets ahead quickly to Gill. Backhands it in lightly on the net. Leafs are changing. Gilmore hustles into the corner and can't hang on to it. And out for Leclerc. Coming up with Howardchuk. Shoots it in. Leclerc coming in after Gill. Gill fired it away, and Gilmore shot it to center. Pass away too far for Leclerc. Schneider moving out. Got to center with two pretty good moves, then fell. Desjardins and Toski get together, and Toski up as far as the line where Schneider stopped him. DeMaio passed it back to Haller, and Haller for Philadelphia. Lost it to Schneider. Schneider moving to center, tried to shoot it in. It got in there all right. Presley couldn't play it though. Hextall out, and that was empty, but nobody could knock one down. Back to the goal, Gilmore. Couldn't center it. Penalty coming up against Philadelphia. It is centered to Alec. Now Clark can't get the shot through everybody as they covered up in front of Hextall, but they're gonna get a penalty. Hextall getting it going.
Desjardins going to get the penalty as he cross-checked a Leaf forward in front of the net. So the Leafs will get a power play.
2-0 Philadelphia. And the penalty box, he's in there for interference here at 4:10.
Take a look in front of Hextall right there as the cross-check on Presley, who made it look a little better. And Hextall and Presley have a little argument about things in front. And Hextall, one of the more aggressive goalies in the league.
Lindros had it on a skate. Gartner checked him, but Brindamore was able to pick it up on the boards and get it out and down the ice. Murphy, Clark, Muller, Schneider, Gartner, they move up to the line. Flyers break it up on the first effort by Toronto to get it in. They are trailing 2-0. Murphy's pass, Muller stop. Penalty again to Philadelphia. The Leaf player upset just across the blue line. And the Philadelphia Flyers now will get another penalty. Bodine doesn't like the call at all, but he's going. 1:28 left in the Desjardins penalty.
Here's the penalty here. Muller trying to step past Bodine, and Bodine hooks him right here. And the Leafs will get a long double penalty here. 1 minute, 28 seconds left in Desjardins penalty. And the Philadelphia Flyers have had 8 power play goals scored against them when they're down 2 men this season, and the Leafs have scored 5 under these circumstances, and they need a goal desperately here.
And Clark will remain on, of course, with Gilmore and Gartner. Murphy and Schneider, nothing has changed there. Philadelphia will leave Lindros on with Brindamore, and Big Samuelson is the defenseman. Here we go. 2-man advantage for Toronto, trailing 2-0. Right off the bat, they win the draw and get it out and down the ice. Murphy is coming back. And 20 left in the first penalty to the Flyers. Gilmore shooting it in. Hextall is going to try to clear it. Gets it off the boards and out. So they have 4 back there, not 3. Gartner coming up, dropping it. And Lindros failed to clear it out. Schneider from the blue line ripped it. Into the crowd it goes. 53 seconds left in the first penalty to Philadelphia. Desjardins.
I don't know whether you'd be shooting the puck in when you're up 2 men on the power play rush. That's debatable. But to shoot it right at Hextall is a double sin, I would say, because this guy can shoot it back out harder than you can shoot it in. And he doesn't mind coming on 15, 20 feet out of the net to field it.
Brindamore has been pretty good on these face-offs, but this time the Leafs control it. Gartner slants it back to Schneider. Murphy open. His pass into Gilmore. Murphy shoots. Great save by Hextall with the right pad. Schneider got it in deep. Gartner coming out the net. Hextall got the stick down in front of it. And it's over the crowd, or rather over the glass and into the crowd again. 35 seconds left in the first penalty to Philadelphia. Desjardins, minute 7 left in the Bodine penalty.
Mike Gartner here fakes the pass across when you're going to see him come across next time, and tries to get Hextall to lean off the post. And then rather than pass it across, here it comes now. And Hextall doesn't get off the post enough and deflects it out of the brink. So a little bit of a chess game going on between Gartner and Hextall. Gartner's played a lot of hockey against the Philadelphia Flyers, 45 goals in 90 games in his career.
Muller with a chance, but lost that chance. And Brindamore shot it out and down the ice. 25 seconds left in the first minor to Philadelphia. Murphy scooting up with Gartner, shooting it in. Again, they give it to Hextall. And he whipped it high on the glass, and it went over the glass into the crowd. Hit it first, of course. 13 seconds left in the Desjardins penalty.
Well, the Leafs are in trouble no matter what the situation is. They can't get the puck into the Flyers zone in this 5-on-3 power play and move it around to make these 3 Flyer penalty killers cover some distance.
And again, the face-off to the left of Hextall. Leafs control it. Gagne stopped. Brind'Amour, he's playing a great game in the penalty killing role. Got it out for Philadelphia down the ice. Now Desjardins ready to come back on. Here he is. That penalty is over. 30 seconds left to the other. And the Leafs moving in. Back in front. Great save by Hextall again. And the Flyers get it out. Hextall lost the game last night. Flyers losing to Winnipeg. Getting the call again tonight. Playing great right here. Tipping that one away. Muller was on it. 8 seconds left. And the Flyers penalty. And they're going to kill them both off. It's cleared on the boards by Druce. He carries it up. Goes in with Codine. Shoots. And he missed by 2 feet. And it ricochets all the way down the ice. Flyers have killed off 2 penalties. Still 2-0 Philadelphia. Gill kept it in. Philadelphia at full strength again. Couldn't get it out on the first try. It's Craig getting a shot. Stahl hugging the post. Made the save and held on to it. The Leafs did have some chances. Hextall was great. Philadelphia killed off 2 penalties.
Ron Hextall, who owns the 3rd best goals against average in the National Hockey League, makes his best stop of the game right here on Matthew Schneider, who snuck in off the blue line, took a perfect pass, but couldn't beat Hextall.
And he's been sharp in this hockey game. The Leafs have had just the 6 shots, but on that man advantage situation, they had a couple of great scoring chances. Hextall, terrific. Philadelphia Flyers penalty killers, terrific. And the Leafs shut down. It's 2-0 Philadelphia. Hawerchuk and Quinn in the first period. Hand pass. It's called, and again, we'll visit with Ron MacLean.
Bob, thanks very much. I'm with 3 years called Onside. And what we do is we take kids in the community to professional sporting events. And these kids are a little special. We've taken them down here to Toronto for a weekend. Last night they were at a Raptors game, the Leafs game tonight, and then they'll see the Bulls tomorrow.
Tyler, I know that was a real setback last July when you pulled over to help some people and you wound up being mugged and sustained some serious injuries. I know you were a great track star. Must be great to have the RCMP come and help out like this.
Oh yeah, they really motivate. Probably seeing the Bulls game.
Well, congratulations on doing a great job to promote Onside, and Robin, good luck very much with this great endeavor.
Great, thanks very much, Ron.
Want to say hi back to Electa Bonnie?
Yeah, hi Cindy, and hi Mom and Dad.
There we go, Bob.
Okay, Ron, Philadelphia attacking again. That is a great program by the RCMP. Our congratulations to the Mounties. Philadelphia trying to jam it in, and there it is. The red light didn't go on. No goal. It did not go in. The Flyers thought it was in, but not so. Potvin was down. The puck underneath him. Referee was right there, too, with a good view of everything. Philadelphia will no doubt want to take that to task again and maybe ask a question or two, but Potvin kept it out.
Well, the Flyer bench is still up, trying to get the attention of one of the Flyers on the ice to go to the referee, Steve Walkom, and ask him if he'll go upstairs and double check whether that was in or not. Of course, they are double checking upstairs, and they'll let Walkom know if it is in. But did it get all the way over the line? Certainly it didn't look like from that brief glimpse. And they're looking at it right now.
The referee was right there.
Well, remember, Domi and Hextall had an interesting first period collision, and they're just chatting about it there when Haller comes in and rudely interrupts their conversation.
So it continues to show on the board, 2-0 Philadelphia. Brind'Amour's pass, feeding it through center for Falloon, who shoots it in. And Potvin tipped it to the center. Got into the corner again, and Falloon picked it up back there, put it out front, and Gartner is going to clear it out. Heading the play now is Murphy. He had to come back. Muller gone in ahead of him. Gill tries a pass. Fans getting just a little restless now with the Maple Leafs. They've had only 6 shots. As we near the halfway mark of the second period, They are trailing Philadelphia 2-0. Gardner again. And up he goes, shooting one end, and Hextall looking around. Saw the side open, and Murphy got up there for Muller. Muller can't get a shot. He's all tied up. And the Flyers hang on and get it out. Potvin trying to move it quickly as the Flyers were changing. Gardner just missed it. There goes Ron Hextall again. And Toski moved it out as far as the line and over it. Allen dumps it back in for Toronto. Now we have reached the halfway mark of the second period. Philadelphia out shooting Toronto 16-6 and leading 2-0. The 2 goals in the first period. And Toski gets the zone again for Philadelphia. Allen has DeMaio giving chase. DeMaio caught him in the corner, and the puck is loose in there, but now slapped away out of the zone by Kyprios. Therrien around his own net. Shot one up quickly to Hawerchuk. And Toski. And he passes one right in the slot. The backhander by Quinn just missed. Therrien back up over center. Fed it in. Leclerc scores! John Leclerc takes a perfect pass and then takes a perfect shot. 3-0 Philadelphia.
Leclerc came off the bench, and no Leaf noticed him, and he walked in on the right wing.
And it's number 18, Dale Hawerchuk, and number 6, Chris Terry. Time
10:45, the time of that goal, the third of the night for Philadelphia Flyers.
Chris Terry. Time
Big Lindros going in. It is centered again, and Therrien gets the shot. Potvin the save. And it's cleared back out to center. Domi took a swing at it. Hawerchuk and Therrien assisting on Leclerc's goal. His 40th of the year. There we got another one right there. Skipped away from him. 10:45 was the time. 3-0 Philadelphia. Hextall, he doesn't waste too much time whacking it away. Now he kicks one out. Clark was right on top of him, and he stopped it. Philadelphia have a 3-on-1. Druce the pass. Lindros the pass. You wouldn't believe that. 3-on-1, and Lindros was set up in front, and he decided to pass it to the right side.
His generosity cost the Flyers and Lindros a goal. I think he surprised Carl Dykhouse, who was the recipient of that late pass.
Domi intercepts and comes in for a shot. Gives it to Convery. Domi is in front. Stall again got the stick up. His drop pass. Toronto will be on it. They can't move it though. Nearing the 13-minute mark of the second period. It's a 3-0 Philadelphia lead. The latest goal by Leclerc.
Closed captioning of tonight's game is provided by Mr. Transmission.
At Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, I'm Bob Cole with Harry Neal in the booth, Ron McLean and Don Cherry along with us. And Hockey Night in Canada for you tonight. The Philadelphia Flyers and the Toronto Maple Leafs. And it's a 3-0 Flyers lead right now. We'll have Calgary coming up with Vancouver after this one as the countdown begins for the Leafs and Felix Potvin, because it's now 4-0 Philadelphia.
Well, that was a innocent-looking rush by the Flyers. Certainly they didn't have much going by the appearance, but have a look at it here. The Leafs are in good shape defensively. It's just a little too late. The Leaf defenseman and Brind'Amour just chopped tied up. Potvin didn't look as ready as he might have looked.
4-0.
This is number 25, Sean Mooney, and number 88, Gary Lindros.
Here's Gardner. Oh, he grazed the goalpost with that one. Hit the outside of it, and it got off into the corner like a rocket.
12:36.
Under 7 minutes left of the period. The pass.
Felix Potvin.
So the scoring, all Philadelphia in the hockey game. They were up 2-0 after the first 20 minutes. They've added 2 more here, and Quinn trying to move up on the net. Schneider tied him up. Quinn once again got it back out. The shot by Antoski ricocheted away from the net. Flyers are all over the Leafs, though. Therrien at the blue line. Has to go to the corner with it. It hit Kolasar. Got him behind the net. And Schneider fired a pass away to Warner. He didn't get too far with it. And it goes again. Potvin out to stop it behind the net. And Schneider for Toronto. Coming out, the pass intercepted, but it somehow got to Kolasar. And he rolled it up along the boards for Allen. He was rubbed out in on the boards, and Lindros got it loose with a skate. And the Flyers, 5:45 left in the second, get it back out over the line. Presley just threw it away from outside the line. Svoboda moving out. Now you can hear the crowd getting on Toronto. Loose puck at the side of the net.
Have turned into the most dangerous threesome perhaps in the league.
Toronto trying to press the Philadelphia Flyers, but they've been playing well behind the blue line tonight, and this time they are successful in getting it out again. Clark in his own zone. Ahead to Domi. Back to Clark. Missed the pass. Clapp just shot it back over the Leaf line, and Yuskevich is checked by him now. But Toronto will move it out. Clark lost it near center. Svoboda to Druce. Happy enough just to roll it inside the Leaf line. And now they're in after it. Pass right in front of the net. At the line, Desjardins shot. Another one picked up by Potvin. Borkham had a good backhander away on the short side. And Potvin made a decent save on it. Flyers change. They shoot it in. McCown to Gilmore. He gave it away at the Philadelphia line. And there's Podine poking it ahead. Podine hit by Gilmore. And in behind the play, something happened around the Philadelphia net with Hextall and the Leaf player Ty Domi. Way behind the play, and there's going to be at least one penalty. Philadelphia Flyers picked up a penalty. This gentleman, Ron Hextall.
Well, it starts off with Haller and Domi trading blows, and then Hextall gets a little shot in. They've got something going. It's not over yet either.
Domi also got a penalty, by the way. Ty Domi in Toronto is in the box. Roughing against Hextall on sportsmanlike conduct to Ty Domi.
Philadelphia has to put a man who was on the ice at the time of the penalty in the box. And here's Hextall when he learns he had a penalty.
Are you kidding?
What did I do, he said. I think this is one of those preventive measure penalties when he wants to cool Hextall and Domi out, both of whom have had a collision or two and a conversation or two. With 4:20 to go in the second, 4-0 Philadelphia. The Leafs being completely dominated tonight.
Rod Brind'Amour up there with Podine. Brind'Amour tapped it back to Haller. Gets the return pass. Trying to set it up in front of it. Gill made the play on it. Up to Muller. Muller getting loose with Murphy. Shoots. Whistle and wide to the net. It'll go all the way back down to Potvin. Under 4 minutes left in the period. Gill coming out for Toronto to Murphy. And there's Gartner going over the Philadelphia line, leaving it to Murphy. He lost it, and a 2-on-1 shaping up, but Gartner is trying to get back, and he will. Brind'Amour goes in with a pass, and Gartner made the play on Desjardins with his speed getting back. 3:30 left in the period, and Murphy for Toronto gives it to Todd Gill. He got it inside the line, but the Leafs want to make changes, and Philadelphia lost time to go back and pick it up. And out it comes. Lindros backs up again. He's very quietly picked up 2 points again tonight. He's got 2 assists. Philadelphia 4 goals. The Leafs 0. 3 minutes left in the period. Flyers all back. They are 4-on-4 right now. Dykhouse lost it to Convery. He's moving up. shoots, stopped by Hextall, and a rebound fired high and wide, and the net is knocked off, and I believe there'll be a penalty to Swoboda for knocking the net off intentionally. That looks like the sign from the referee. And indeed, that's the fact. Flyers get 2 minutes for knocking that net off.
Well, Swoboda was coming back 100 miles an hour to try and protect the goal after Convery got walked in all alone. And here's the breakaway by Convery, and Hextall makes the save. Now watch Swoboda. He's coming in to try and make sure that the second Leaf on the rush doesn't score, and he kind of falls off him into the net.
Quickly, we go to Ron MacLean.
Bob, thanks very much. If you were watching Coach's Corner carefully, you heard about Kip. Who was your hero when you were growing up?
I'd have to say Bobby Orr.
I knew it.
Hey, why not Bobby Orr? He'll be here in 3 years, National Hockey League. They could use him out here now.
Bob, there you go, Kip.
2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the second period. The Leafs on a power play now. They'll pass it around, and Schneider will drill it wide. Philadelphia has been just great killing penalties in this game.
And they are
too short at one time and killed them both off.
They are the second best penalty killing team on the road among the National Hockey League, and it showed tonight.
Swoboda is in the box now for delay of game. Leafs, Schneider. Shot is deflected wide of the goal. 2 minutes left in the period. 1:14 in the penalty to Swoboda. Toronto looking for its first goal of the hockey game. Philadelphia have 4 of them. And they're going to get it out again. Holler decides, why not? On a move up with Brind'Amour. And he put the shot on, and Brind'Amour went after the rebound. But Potvin was waiting for that move. 54 seconds left in the penalty. The Leafs sent back again. Minute and a half left in the period. Toronto trying to get 1 goal before the period is out. Gartner and Gilmour collided. Gartner is slow to get up. Shot on the board, stopped by Ellett. His long shot, stopped by Hextall. Ellett to Yuskevich. Doesn't handle it cleanly, but gets it ahead to Gilmour. To Ellett. Ellett's weak shot off his stick. 20 seconds left in the penalty, and there she goes again. Down the ice to Potvin. 1 minute left to the period.
Last minute of play in this period.
4-0 Philadelphia. Up for Ellett. Into Muller. Now to Gilmour. Now the shot blocked. And Philadelphia, the first one to it. Cleared out. Down the ice. They've killed off Swoboda's penalty. 40 seconds left in the period. The Leafs being outshot 24-10. And almost 2 periods gone. They are down 4-0. Philadelphia all back there, playing well behind the blue line. And up they go. DeMaio takes the pass along the line, gives it to Corkum. He has to go behind the net. Philadelphia in, beating the Leafs to the puck again. Back of the goal. DeMaio gets in front. Gilmour hit his man. DeMaio went down. 8 seconds left in the period. DeMaio again, near the line. Leafs just dump it out. In the second period. And a disgruntled crowd here at Maple Leaf Gardens now as the Leafs file out. They're shut out after 40 minutes. 4-0 is your score, Philadelphia. Here again is Ron MacLean.
Bob, Flyers building up a 4-0 lead. Here's one of the critical members of that Legion of Doom, John LeClair. Another great year for you, John, and for Philly up until the All-Star break when you had a chance to go and shine in that. Everything seemed to be rolling smoothly, and it hasn't necessarily since. How come?
Exactly. You know, the last couple months since the All-Star break, we have been struggling. We haven't been playing consistently, and you know, that's something that's been a concern of ours lately. We want to make sure these last 12 games that we start playing consistent hockey, and we're playing good hockey going into the playoffs.
Tell us about your year personally and why you think you've been able to sustain the great performance of last year.
You know, it was important for me to come out and have a good year after this year. A lot of people, you know, wanted to know if it was just a one-year thing. So, you know, I worked hard to get you know, have a good year this year, and you know, I've had a lot of help from my teammates. So there's no doubt playing with Michael and Eric is a big contribution to my success.
That's a tough road trip to come in from Winnipeg and lose an hour and all, and great effort so far. Good luck in the third.
Thank you very much.
There's John LeClair of the Philadelphia Flyers.
Harry, there's a guy who did have
character.
Yes, he did, and a perfect definition, that little speech, of optimism. Because the Leafs are in a disastrous spot now. The biggest game of the year, probably, and they haven't been able to muster any kind of an effort that matches the physical effort that the Flyers are giving.
They've had 10 shots over 2 periods. Philadelphia is leading as Warner goes in with a test on Hextall. Kicked that away. 4-0 Flyers. 3 of them are up again. Brind'Amour in a balloon. Trying to hit the short side and missed it. Out for the Leafs, and 3 of them on the rush. Shot in by Domi. Hextall out again. Bumped by his own defenseman, Desjardins. The 2 of them went down. Scampered back up. Hextall back in the net quickly. Collision at center ice. Domi and Brind'Amour, and they're both hurt. They collided at center, and I don't think either saw the other player. And they just went wacko at center ice and down in a heap. And as you can see, Domi is now just kind of getting back up.
Absolutely, Bob. It was not a body check attempt by either one of them. It was a car accident at center ice.
And as usual, they'll usually find it. Leclerc tried a shot that will get high off his stick and into the crowd. Heavy hit to the center ice area. Another hit in the corner. Ellis Gilmore going into Leclerc. Puck centered. Shot deflected wide of the goal. Another one. Right to Lindros, and he drilled it at the net. Then Potvin was in the right spot to stop that.
Well, you have to admire Gilmore. We know he's hurt.
A minute and a half into the 3rd period. Philadelphia Flyers 4, Toronto Maple Leafs no score. The Leafs then up after their first one, and Muller digs it off the corner boards. Trying to get back where Murphy was waiting, and Murphy couldn't keep it in. Convery fell and lost it. Shot high by Hawerchuk off the glass. Leafs get it out. That's Muller. That pass is intercepted, but Murphy was right behind the play. Tried to come in. Didn't shoot it in. Dykhouse takes a hit. Lindros is back there to help, and Swoboda grabs the puck and skates away. His pass is knifed in by Hawerchuk. Both teams changing as the Leafs start back. Schneider nearly lost it. John Druce was in forechecking. And here's Todd Gill to Schneider. Schneider moving up to center where he'll shoot it. It was stopped at the blue line by Dykhouse. That hurt him a bit. He's wincing in pain, stays on. Corkum coming in for Philadelphia. Trying to go to the corner against Ellett. Dead first. Flyers pass it around. A long shot tipped in front of the net. Platt came close to putting one by Potvin. Leafs get it out. Presley turning back at his own line. Ellett covered. Druce was there. And now the puck is loose near center ice. Desjardins missed Gagne. And Clark steps in, but Presley shoots. Hextall with the pad out on the short side. Flyers try to shoot it down the ice. It went over the boards at the Philadelphia bench. And that stops the play, of course, the face-off.
One of the best wingers in the league in Renberg.
Toronto trying to get a goal here in the 3rd period. As we near the 4-minute mark, they have not been able to do it. They've had only 11 shots. That'll have something to do with it.
And if you keep chances to score, which is a more popular stat than shots, they got about 4 good chances.
Warner working his way in deep. Trying to set one up in front and went behind the net. Tipped in front of the goal. Haller was there in front of his goaltender. Got it out, and Toski knocked it on over the Leaf line, and McCown back. Just waits back there. 4 minutes gone. 3rd period. Still 4-0. Philadelphia. Right wing pass to Skavich to Warner. Coming in, the shot blocked by Haller. Blues will move on the puck in their own zone. DeMaio got it out as far as center, and Gill will bring it in again. Holler will take over from the goaltender. Quickly moved it. DeMaio covered. Quinn comes in to help him and takes the puck and just gets rid of it. Off the boards at the far side, hoping the Flyers can make changes quickly. They do that as Kypreos shoots it from center. Nearing the 5-minute mark of the third. Balloon's pass was a good one, but it hopped in front of the Philadelphia winger Podine, trying to pick it up and go in. He was behind everybody, trying to go to the net. Kypreos again shot at the center. Over the glass once more, into the crowd.
We've talked a lot about the Legion of Doom line. Renberg's the guy they're missing, and he has had a stomach or a groin injury almost the entire year that doesn't seem to be getting better. And this line, when they're together, are almost impossible to contain and are a physical menace most shifts. And there is Renberg talking to his agent, Don Meehan. And I know the Flyer coaching staff, Tommy Webster, Terry Murray, are dying to get this guy Renberg back, but he can't seem to get better.
Kypreos just shooting it from center, and the puck is in deep. Kypreos again trying to work it off the boards in the corner, and does, but he's checked. Samuelsson fired a pass a little bit too far in that wing for Bodine. Convery missed it. Samuelsson again coming up to center, and he just lobs a high one in. Schneider back, touching it. That's an icing call against Philadelphia. 14:10 left. Philadelphia Flyers, Desjardins around the net. Nearly coughed it up to Convery, who's in for checking. It gets out. Yuskevich waits with McCown. Towns pass. Tacked in over the line by Gardner. Desjardins back. And Holler feeding it ahead. Lindros. Link wide pass. Doesn't get that far to Howard Chuck. Again, a pass going astray down inside the Leaf line. Yuskevich shot it off the boards to center. Kirk Muller looking for room to go in, and the Flyers have been pretty good at that tonight. Keeping the Leafs off stride, outside, and not many great scoring chances. Only a total of 11 shots in a game. We are nearing the 7-minute mark of the third period. Philadelphia 2 goals in the first, adding 2 in the second. Howard, Chuck, Quinn, LeClaire, and Brindamore, the goal scorers for the Philadelphia Flyers.
Well, Eric Lindros, as we've talked about many times, is a great NHL player. Look at the players, though, that Quebec gave up, or that Philadelphia gave up. Not all of them were players. They were draft picks. Forsberg's the one that makes you shake a little bit. Nolan Baumgartner is another one who's going to play in this league and be a good one. But when you get a chance to add a franchise player, even though there are some excellent players going the other way, the Philadelphia Flyers, I think, made the right choice. Now, last year was the first year in 6 years they've been in the playoffs. And they may go 6 more years without missing the playoffs.
A little coaching on the bench. Philadelphia doing all right, though. There's another chance. The shot in wide of the goal. Desjardins from the blue line. Can't keep it in. That'll be offside. If he touches it, that's Bruce after it. And he knows. Didn't play it. So the Leafs clear it, and the play goes on. And it's Clark shooting it in from center ice. Hextall eyes the back of his head. Saw his man come in. Left it for him with a back pass. Philadelphia has had 24 shots in the game. Nearing the 8-minute mark of the third, and the Leafs are looking for their 12th. And And it's Gilmore shooting it from his own side of center. Icing waved off, though. Touched somebody going up there. And Haller from the corner for the Flyers. Left it for Quinn. Quinn got it out. The fans are going now. You can hear them. They are not happy with this performance of the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight. Philadelphia arriving here at 4:30 this morning, losing in Winnipeg last night. They don't look tired to me.
We better check the tickets and see who was on that plane.
And Koski can't get a shot. The drive from the line by Terry and a stop by Potvin. As we near the 9-minute mark of the third, the Leafs just get it out to center, and there's Domi back on. For Warner, coming for the shot. Hextall made the save, and offside had been called back at the blue line. As Philadelphia continues to lead Toronto 4-0. Leaf Gardens in Toronto, the first half of our doubleheader tonight. I'm Bob Cole with Harry Neal in the booth. Ron McLean and Don Cherry along with us. The Hockey Night in Canada crew. Calgary at Vancouver right after this one. It is 4-0 Philadelphia.
You know, Bob, the Leafs look too small, too slow, and not strong enough against Philadelphia tonight.
Yuskevich pounding one in wide of the net. And the play goes offside again at the Philadelphia line.
Well,
Convery had something going, I believe, near center ice with a big guy.
Yeah. He got tangled up with Lindros, young Convery, after the draw. Lindros gives him a cross-check. And then Muller comes in a second here to get Lindros out of there before he took advantage of about 20 pounds and 6 inches and lots of experience.
Philadelphia back to pick it up. Up to center she goes, and McCown stopped it. Gave it to Convery, made a clever move with a skate. The shot, however, is deflected wide of the net, and no chance for a rebound. Hextall covering up as we near the halfway mark of the third period.
Well, Philadelphia plays a defensive style. You heard Tommy Webster talk about them taking the neutral zone away from the Leafs. They force shoot-ins. If they're bad shoot-ins, Hextall gets it and moves it out. They can't seem to get through to tie the race for the shoot-ins, and if they tie it, Philadelphia's too big for them. So Terry Murray and his Flyers have got the Leafs playing right into their hands with a superior team in size, and then they won a lot of battles for the puck, and Philadelphia's won most of them.
Well, they have that big 4-goal cushion, and you know they're all going to be back inside the line. They played well back of that blue line, as we mentioned earlier, all evening. Yuskevich shoots one, he missed. Not by much, but enough. And the pass to Lindros, one man to beat, and he can't put it by McCown, and hit a stick and went wide of the net. Claire pushed one back from his own blue line, and Swoboda turns. Dykhouse is there with him. Howard Chuck at the line gets the pass. And it gets into Leclerc, the dangerous winger for Philadelphia, coming out with the pass to Lindros. And that's stopped. The count on it. Gets it back out over the line. Halfway mark of the third period now. Muller takes the giveaway pass by Philadelphia. Can't do anything with it, though. And Leclerc from the line, again hitting McCown's stick with the shot. Lindros stealing it from Murphy. Now Lindros wants to get to the Philadelphia bench. They change as Convery comes out again for Toronto. Kyprios on the wing is offside. They'll bring it back.
Too many men on the ice here, Bob, perhaps. The referee Walkham got information from the linesman, Dan Shakti, and has come to the timer, and the Leafs are going to get a penalty for too many men on the ice. Most of the night, they've looked like they haven't had enough men on the ice.
Toronto penalty, 2 minutes for too many men on the ice. Time 10:24.
So with that penalty, now they won't 2 minutes, or maybe less.
The Leafs have had 11 shots on goal. They've only been held under 20 once this year. November the 11th against Boston, they had 19 shots, but we did that game, Bob. And remember, Boston outshot them 37-19, and the Leafs won. And you can see at the far side of that picture, the Leaf player was coming on the ice to give them 6 skaters. Getting on the ice too early, and it cost the Leafs, with 9:36 to go, a penalty.
Too many men penalty against the Maple Leafs. Down 4-0 to Philadelphia. And now the Flyers on the power play. That department 1 for 2 in the hockey game. So then, here they shoot it in. And it'll be Doug Gilmour bringing it back up the ice for Toronto. They have to think scoring, even though they're shorthanded. Time running out on this one. And a lot of goals to catch up. Falloon made a good move to get in with a weak shot, though. Presley tried to clear. Schneider does, lifting one away. Leafs changing the penalty killers. 1:15 left in the penalty. Muller stealing one. Kolasar was in front of the net, couldn't get it to him. Now it's Philadelphia's turn, and they move out. 3 of them. Pass to Leclerc. He tossed it in by the Leaf defenseman McCown, but then fell. And Yuskevich shoots a high one. Right down to Hextall. Desjardins away from Muller. Picks his way out over the line, giving it to Lindros. Swift pass to Holler. And a nice save by Potvin. That hard shot by the Philadelphia defenseman.
Well, you remember this young Philadelphia defense, and Haller was one of them that played so well last year in the playoffs, contributed largely offensively, something they hadn't done. Dykhouse is another one, a first-round pick. Haller, a first-round pick. Swoboda, a first-round pick. None of them first-round picks of the Philadelphia Flyers, but Bobby Clark has amassed 10 first-round picks in this roster. Only one, Huffman, he's hurt, was a Flyer first-rounder.
Lindros wins the draw. Shot tipped in front of Potvin. He saw that, made the save.
Well, the Leafs have one day to get out to Calgary, where they play Monday night. They're on to Vancouver Wednesday, and we'll have Hockey Night in Canada, Toronto at the Edmonton Oilers next Saturday night. So that isn't a very encouraging looking trip, the way the Leafs are playing here at home, Maple Leaf Gardens.
Trailing 4-0, and Philadelphia on a power play to boot right here. 25 seconds, though, all that remains on this power play. And Philadelphia keep it in. Holler's pass onto the boards, centered and intercepted by McCown, trying to create a 2-on-1 with Kolasar getting a weak shot away wide of the net. Flyers back out again, still on the power play for another 8 seconds. Potvin will smother this one. They are down to 3 seconds left in the Leaf penalty, and an update from elsewhere. And Ron is here. Edmonton coming into action tonight. They're in 10th in the Western Conference. They have 59 points.
Well, Gilmour, who has played a strong game tonight, and you can see when you run into Lindros, most of the time you go down. And Doug Gilmour has given it a royal shot when we know he's not 100%. He and Lindros have collided 4 or 5 times tonight. Eric's size is one of his great advantages.
Shot from the blue line, didn't get too far, and Therrien had to back up to get a high one to bounce down there. Todd Gill was back. Toronto moving out. Another interception near center ice. The Flyers, DeMaio tied up by Murphy and can't move on the loose puck. Gagne in with Murphy. And the play called, a Leaf player dumped behind the play, and it looks like another Philadelphia penalty coming up. Vancouver. Second half of our Hockey Night in Canada doubleheader is Mike Gartner tries to get something going for Schneider. The shot misses the goal. Convery is back in the net. Penalty again being called. Big collision in the corner. Philadelphia already shorthanded, and Kirk Muller of the Maple Leafs went in a hurry. Yes, it is Muller who'll go.
It's an interference call. We've seen a lot of those this year on power plays where the team with the power play gets the penalty for running a little interference. And here it is right here. It's not happened yet. You can see that he kicked his left feet out from underneath him. Now Muller's complaining that he was interfered with on the way to the puck. But those kind of complaints ring on deaf ears in this business.
Quinn has a minute 47 seconds rather left in his hooking penalty. Now Muller of the Maple Leafs in the box. 7 minutes remaining in the third period. 4-0 Philadelphia. Gilmore trying to do it again. Schneider went in. Offside called at the Philadelphia line.
Wendell Clark was trying to straddle the blue line coming over from in front of the Flyer bench, and he lifted up his back foot. So he was in the zone and couldn't get it down in time to stay onside.
For a side at the moment. Schneider for Toronto. Right to center and then got rid of it. Therrien is hustling back, so is Gilmore. Gilmore got a stick on it. Flyers get the puck though. Sliding it ahead. Hodin wrapped it back neatly. Therrien shot his block. Hodin there again in the slot. And Schneider tipped it away. Oh, Gilmore was hit hard by Hodin. Shakes it off, doesn't seem to bother him. Maple Leafs knock it down in front. That's Clark. Comes back to Clark. Clark trying to get in front of the net with Gilmore waiting for him. Clark missed it. Philadelphia Flyers dump it out of the zone and down the ice. Schneider to Gilmore. Put on the brakes. Gilmore coming for the net now. Murphy slides it out front. Schneider from the line. First shot is blocked. Murphy now. That missed the goal, and nobody will play it except Potvin. 18 seconds left in the Philadelphia penalty, and 30 in the Leaf penalty. 5:20 remaining in the third period. Dave Ellett moving up for Toronto with Warner on his left. Convery right behind him, gets the puck back. Gill winds up the shot. Philadelphia doing great shot blocking in front of the net. Another one blocked. Flyers come back in. Potvin a save. And another. John Bruce testing him. Teams are at full strength now. Muller just hopping on. And it's knifed in there by Muller. Went after it. He knew Hextall was out of the net. Tried to put it in at the empty net. Couldn't do it. And then Hextall covered up. 4 minutes and 47 seconds left in the shutout bid by Hextall. You're looking at 11. That's the number of shots total by Toronto tonight. They had 2 in the first. They have 1 so far here in the third.
They only have 1 player who has more than 1 shot on goal, and 9 skaters don't have any. 31-11, and that tells you as much about what this game has been like as the scoreboard at center ice, which says 4-0.
Philadelphia has had 31 shots at Potvin, beat them 4 times. Flyers, as we say, with a total of, or Leafs, as we say, with a total of 11 right now. Philadelphia leading 4-0. A little over 4 minutes left in period number 3. Lindros can't get it out. Flyers pick it up and shoot it away. Claire was up there and offside was called.
Well, the record for the least shots on goal by the Leafs, January 19th, 1956. You probably did that game, Bob. Montreal beat the Leafs 3-1, and Toronto had 11 shots on goal. Earlier this week against the Islanders, Lindros had 14. So this has been an abysmal performance by the Leafs at a critical time in their schedule after they played 2 pretty good hockey games against the Red Wings, played 5 of 6 periods, pretty even with the best team in the league, but tonight they're a long way from that performance.
From center, the Flyers dump it in. DeMaio chasing it with Quinn. For DeMaio, trying to get it back to Quinn. Lafayette had to knock it away in a hurry. Yuskevich racing against Antoski of Philadelphia. Puck loose to the line. Domi was checking his man, didn't see it. Gagne picks it up. Poor Domi hit a skate. He fired it from center ice. Just got it in. And it'll be DeMaio losing it. Comes to Domi and he lost it. 3 Flyers will move out. They'll be careful not to get in too deep and get caught. They know that Hextall, playing back-to-back games, as we mentioned at the top of the show, for the first time this season, has a good bid in on a shutout now. Nick Beverly looking at the clock, 3:25 left, and a 4-0 Philadelphia lead. Not a great night for Toronto.
I would say this night would be the most discouraging of Nick's coaching career here, and this is his 9th game, although they had a night in Hartford where they were very ineffective. But these kind of nights are tough to take for the coach, especially when you think of the importance of the game. This isn't a game where the Leafs are clearly in the playoffs and they can't move in the standings. This kind of a performance could cost them the playoffs.
They've still had just the 1 shot on goal here in the 3rd. 2 in the 1st, as we mentioned, 8 in the 2nd. Up for Clark. Tried to dump it in and go after it, and got it in all right, but couldn't catch up to it. Philadelphia's clacked trying to move it out. Check by Gilmore and Gartner. He does a pretty good job holding the 2 Leaf players. The puck over the glass into the crowd. And once again, let's visit with Ron MacLean. Thanks, Ron, and 2:45 remaining here. The result of the game here in Toronto tonight. Foregone conclusion now. Will the Flyers shut him out? That's the question. Up the center for Druce down the right boards. Trying the shot from the sharp angle. Gilmore turns. 2 Leafs with him. One of them Warner. The other Gartner. Warner coming in. Gartner's in front of the net. Gilmore knocked it down. Took a swing at it and missed it. It came back out. Pulled back in by Warner. Offside. 2:11 left.
Well, we've talked a lot about the Legion of Doom line without Renberg. Last year, they finished in the top 10 NHL scorers. And that hasn't happened since 1988-89, when with Pittsburgh, Coffey, Lemieux, and Rob Brown were in the top 10. And in the same year, Gretzky, Nichols, and Robitaille finished in the top 10. This year, it's going to happen again, only it's going to be Lemieux, Yager, and Francis by the look of it. 3 in the top 10. What a lovely offensive situation that is.
Wow. Kurt Muller hooking the pass away for Convery. Flyers line up at the blue line, and the puck will go flying into the crowd again. Under 2 minutes left. Empty seats up there.
Well, these fans have been pretty patient tonight. They haven't seen the Leafs mount any offense at all. And the Leafs are making this playoff run a very difficult mission.
Puck knifed in by Presley. Hextall out, shot it to the boards in the corner. Hodin kicked it loose. It's cleared out again. 1.5 minutes left. Puck is fired off the boards by Falloon the 2nd time. Big Shell Samuelson shot one down the ice, chasing it. is Sean Podine. He centered it. The Leafs get back in time. Back to the net for Podine. Elliott watching him. It comes in front. Puck fan down and right to the glove. And he hangs on to it. 1:07 left in the third period. 4-0 Flyers.
Well, Sean Podine is a typical Philadelphia Flyer forward on the third and fourth line. He can skate, he's strong, he's physical, and he's a hard worker. And when you allow the opposition to outwork you, as the Leafs have allowed Philadelphia to do tonight, even if the talent wasn't equal, you're probably going to lose. And Philadelphia, when they get Renberg and Otto back, are going to be even better.
Face-off is deep in the Toronto zone to the left. Desjardins saw Warner getting ready to come out, so he backed out of the zone. The Leafs can't keep it in. Under a minute left in the third. It's hammered in by Yuskevich. Hextall out of the net, leaving it for Desjardins. Philadelphia looking very organized back there. Come out with it and get it up. Druce gets over the line. Then he lost it. Pollard tried to poke it in and did. 35 seconds away from a shutout for Ron Hextall. Leafs trying to muster one more attack and maybe get one by him. Colasar moving up. It'll float to the line. Hextall makes another stop. And it's off his stick over the glass into the crowd, and that's the first shot for the Maple Leafs in quite some time, and that's why you hear the crowd roaring. Their second shot in the period.
Well, Jamie McCowan let one go from the left point that Hextall easily handled, and that what got the biggest cheer the Leafs have got tonight since they came out on the ice before the game. So Ron Hextall, 21 seconds away from a shutout, and this may well be the simplest shutout that he's come up with in quite a little while. He has had very few difficult chances. And when he's had to make the stop, 3 or 4 tough ones tonight, he's made them.
.21 seconds left. Muller will try to win this draw for Toronto and does. Sliding it at the net. That's kicked away. It'll get out. 15 seconds left. Leafs forced to back up. Philadelphia staying up there. Kjell Samuelsson has to hurry back. 5 seconds remaining. It's over the glass into the crowd again. We're down to 3.1 seconds, and let's see. The faceoff is going to come to the right of Ron Hextall. So if Philadelphia can win the draw, they know what they've done. They've helped their goaltender, Hextall, even though he lost last night in Winnipeg, get a shutout tonight against Toronto. We'll see Lindros against Muller. Here it is. No shot. Game over. And Philadelphia and Ron Hextall shut out the Maple Leafs 4-0.
And this disappointed and disillusioned crowd are firing their posters. It was poster night tonight, and it is raining posters at Maple Leaf Gardens.
4-0 here. It's not over.
Back here, the Molson 3-star East in fourth, and tied, by the way, with Florida. John LeClair, the #1 star at Maple Leaf Gardens, a goal and an assist. Roddy Brind'Amour, #2, and Dale Hawerchuk scores, as he seems to always do in Toronto, to pace Philadelphia to their 4-0 shutout victory for Ron Hextall. There are the finals. Back to tell the story with Don Cherry on Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC. The Edmonton Oilers with a big power play effort this evening in big first period beat the Montreal Canadiens, handing them their first loss in Montreal at the Molson Centre 6-5. And Hextall with the shutout tonight. The Philadelphia Flyers, after that 4-1 drubbing last night in Winnipeg, win big in Toronto. Coming up next, Calgary is in Vancouver. Jason Arnott with his second hat trick of the season.
I featured him on Coach's Corner first, remember?
Right. He's, yes, he was featured on Don's Coach's Corner, and now he's with Scott Russell. Arnott, and thank you, Scott.
There's the camera. He was pointing the camera. Only 4 points out. Let me tell you something, boy, that's going to be something next week. Hope